What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So the second car in the Elite Bundle is going to be the Apollo Project Evo. I gotta admit, this car is looking pretty dang wild. The first thing I want to ask y'all, would you guys prefer this one or would you rather have the IE? I'm really curious. I have noticed that a lot of people prefer that one. I do want to know what y'all think. But with that though, this car is also going to have some customization, which I was honestly not really expecting that much. So we're going to have the carbon fiber hood there. Moving over to the front bumpers, there's going to be a few of these you can do. That makes that, that's kind of interesting. You got more carbon there. You have the white marks going away in the front. Let's see if it gets rid of... I'm not really sure on these, to be honest. Like, they're okay. They are going to change some parts of them. Personally, I might end up just leaving the stock ones as I do like the X's on the front there. Moving over to the front fender, you guessed it. Yeah, you could wide body this car, bro. Just look at that. That looks so weird. Look how wide that is. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It actually fits it nicely, which is a plus there. Like, the fitment's not going to be off, but a wide body Evo, man, I don't know about that. Moving over to the wheels, I am probably going to put the black ones on here as these look really nice. 39K, bro. Glad I got money. Oh, wait a minute. Those are also Apollo wheels. That's pretty dope. I kind of like these more. Then we're also going to have the regular wheels. Again, no one's probably going to care for those. We have the calipers. After that, guys, we're then going to have these skirts. Let's see here. Ooh, carbon fiber. That actually looks kind of dope on the side there, doesn't it? Let me zoom out a little bit. That might help. That looks kind of nice. Then we have that one adding the orange on the bottom, which is not even there. That kind of fits it nicely as well. I gotta admit, the fitment of this car so far with the customization, man, it's better than I thought it was going to be. Moving over to the rear fender, we have 5 of these, bruh. Got that one, adds those pieces on the back. That looks kind of dope, actually. I like that. Then we're going to have, whoa, that is a crazy looking diffuser, bro. And there's the wide body. Kind of liking that a little bit. Can I zoom out more? I cannot. Moving over to the next one, adds a diffuser, and then we have that big piece there. Personally, for me, I kind of like this one. Let's add that to it. Moving over to the rear wing. I'm surprised you can actually change these. Adds a little piece on that. Oh, adds like a little ducktail on it, kind of. It looks all right. We're then going to have, whatever that is. I don't know about that one. That looks like a big gun coming out of the side of it that you see like armored core or something. What in the world? Yeah, I'm good. Moving over to the rear bumpers, guys, we have 3 other ones of these. Here's that one. Makes the entire exhaust black as the... Is that carbon? No, that is not carbon. I don't think. Doesn't look like it. We're then going to have... Whoa, that looks interesting. We're then going to have that one. For me, though, I'm probably just going to leave the stock one on there, although this is looking pretty dope. I gotta admit, that I kind of like that. But, oh, I missed the last one. What is it? Oh, it's just the interior color there. For me, to be honest, I mean, we could go with yellow, add that. That looks pretty dope. And then do the Alcantara insert. Do that for $15,000. And that will end up doing it for the customization. Let me do an overview here. I gotta admit, the Apollo Project Evo is going to be a pretty wild looking car, guys. I do think it is cool looking. It is going to look like a crazy spaceship. Although I admit I'm not sure how I really feel about these supercars. Do let me know your thoughts if you like them or you're a fan of the Apollo. I've actually seen an IE in person. I have to admit it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm probably going to sound a bit odd here, but I kind of wish we would have got the IE as I have seen one of those in person. I do like that car a bit more. I do know that Forza Horizon 5 is going to have it, and funnily enough, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has it. Maybe that's why they probably put this one in the game, because it is going to be different. It's not in those. That was probably something they did end up adding. Also, we got to take a look here at the back end of this car, bro. Look at the way the taillights look. That is absolutely wild. Like, what? Look at that design, bro. That is just crazy looking. Let's drive it here. Actually, you know what? Let me go into the sun and go into the interior view. Okay, so the interior view is looking pretty wild. It's going to have the gear change there. It looks like anything else change. RPM change. It looks like as the kilometers an hour. You're going to see the mirrors on the sides as well. I'm guessing these are probably going to be kind of glitchy, which indeed they are. They're not going to be the clearest thing. Like, you can see out of them, obviously, on next-gen consoles, but it is not going to be the clearest thing out there. You guys could see it like skipping and stuff like that. So if you are looking at that, it might distract you, similar to the other Bugatti as well. Besides that, though, the interior is looking kind of nice in this thing. The overall outside of it, man, I don't know. This car looks pretty wild. And as you all do know, I got to do a top speed test on this car here in a second. But gotta admit, the overall design of the Apollo is pretty insane looking, man. Look at this thing, bro. Besides that, though, as I did promise, let's now go do a top speed test here with the Apollo Evo. Guys, I am interested to see what this car can get to. We all do know right now most of the hypercar lineup pretty much does like 290 to like 304 or 305-ish. So I am wondering what this car will get to. Let's see here. So it's got 7 gears, not all that surprised. Let's see how it does. Let me go around this escape here. I'll hit nitrous. And I am running a full chemist set if you guys are wondering. 301 miles per hour. Okay, so it does around 300, 299. Probably depends on going downhill. Slipstreaming might be a tad different. But it looks like the speed there is going to be fairly similar and also better than some of the other overall hypercars, which I would say is going to be a plus there. I gotta admit, this car looks very cool. But I also really think the entire meta thing in this game, guys, when it does come to hypercars, and we'll talk about this in a second when I do end up driving this car in one of the races, but I really do feel like people want a meta change. Let me know your thoughts on that, by the way. Do you guys want a meta change? Do you want some cars to be better? I feel like something like the Evo here being a tad better than some of the other vehicles, which, you know what I would probably say upon first glance, I think it is, but it's probably not going to be the #1 pick car or considered the best hypercar that most people are going to want to pick, because honestly, we all do know a lot of people want to win the races. So what will they do? Pick the best vehicles. So I figured I would jump into one of the races right now and talk about the Apollo Evo a little bit, guys. So I gotta admit, this car for me is going to be, well, I might actually use this car over some of the other ones. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, well, Block, what cars do you normally run in hypercar? Or at least, what do you normally pick? Well, to be honest, I'm kind of weird. I never use any of the Bugattis, like in Summits or in Grand Race. I never touch them. It's not that I hate them or anything. I just kind of avoid those cars, to be honest with you, and I try to use other stuff. And with that, I kind of pick some oddball vehicles. One of my favorite hypercars in the game at the moment is the Porsche 919 Street. I love that thing. So I'm like, all right, well, now that we're going to have the Apollo here, I might as well start running this car a bit, maybe running this. Am I going to be setting records? And to be honest, guys, with the way I drive in this game and how I'm super casual, I'm probably not going to be setting records, bro. And I obviously don't really do all that much when it comes to Grand Race or basically ever. I did end up playing a few races in that probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago for a video I have planned for PvP and stuff. And that was probably the last time I have played any Grand Race related stuff in about a year or so. And to be honest, I really don't have a desire to go back in and play it. I would love to do PvP, guys, if you are wondering. I actually genuinely like racing against people and meeting people and stuff like that in racing games. And kind of just having a great time in there. That's something I really do love about Forza, because I could jump into PvP and drive class vehicles and, you know, do different class builds, or like A or S, or, you know, drive something like a Lambo and it's going to be going against cars that make sense versus a Lambo. Whereas I do feel like Motorfest, with the entire design of this and how the meta is and all that, and it's only going to be Grand Race, so you can't really drive a lot of stuff or mess around with a lot of different vehicles, because a lot of the cars are honestly going to be almost unusable. And then you're also going to have the side of meta and stuff like that, to where many of the cars are going to be questionable at best, and then others are going to be so dang good that it's going to make many of the other cars basically useless. So I would say a lot of people are probably going to look at this Elite Bundle, and that is something I was noticing people saying, like, oh, these cars are cool, but are they going to be usable against a lot of the other better cars in the classes? Can you use them now? I do personally think the Bugatti Vision GT is definitely going to be a great contender, also very usable in the racing category. Also, when it does come to hypercars, I do feel like the Apollo here is going to be a car that you can run, and it's definitely going to be a usable vehicle, again, if you are going to have the skill to drive it and stuff like that. But when it does come to other hypercars, though, guys, I feel like people are going to run this for a bit and then go, okay, well, the Bugatti Gendo Dici's better, or like the Agera's better, or something like that, so they might go back to those. Do let me know what y'all think about this car in the comments below, guys. Overall, I do think it's a very cool addition to the game, but I gotta admit, I wish there was other ways. Oh, look at the flaps on the back, bro. That's dope. I just noticed that. Look at that when you hit the brakes. That's a cool little piece of detail there. I like stuff like that. But I'm also curious to see what everyone does say. Now, yes, this thing is going to be a very unique hypercar in a bundle a lot of people might like, but also at the same time, they might not really care for this bundle. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below.